Interest rates will go up. The million-dollar question is we just don't know when. I doubt, and don't hold me to this, I doubt we'll see the interest rates that we had in the mid-90s because lending is much more balanced now. But I would suspect that at some stage interest rates will rise by 1 or 2%. We are at an all-time low now. So if we were sitting here in 5 years' time, I would guess that after Brexit and a bit of settling down and everything, interest rates will be round about a couple of percent higher than they are now. Of course, I could be wrong.
Within 5 years.
Within 5 years. But that's my personal view. If we go back 12 months, there was all talk about interest rates suddenly shooting up, then they came down. So it just depends where all the markets are. But we have been at an all-time low now for a long, long time. So to coin an old phrase, whatever goes down eventually will go up. Sorry.
Just wondered what your opinion was with what was happening in the media this week about the election of Donald Trump, and there's a lot of talk that will actually have quite a media impact on things like interest rates.
Okay. Well, the American election has been very interesting because not 2 weeks ago Hillary Clinton was going to get in and it was going to be like this, and it didn't happen, so it's going to be like that. What tends to happen after all sorts of elections, things settle down. Once everybody's had their say, it all settles down. And the reality is, it's not in anybody's interests for inflation to suddenly shoot through the roof, for interest rates to go up. So I don't think the American election today is going to have an immediate impact on where we are. Where that might be in 12 months' time or 2 years' time, depending upon world events, might be different. But today, I think we're in a fairly settled, regular place. That's my personal opinion.
And Martin, assuming that with the rise of interest rates comes the rise of mortgage rates, they tend to follow pretty quickly, will that automatically lead to a depression in sales?
I guess, from my personal point of view, it depends on just how far they rise. A small adjustment, as has been suggested, is not going to affect dramatically the market's place, in my opinion. It's difficult. The market isn't just about mortgage rates. It's about sentiment, it's about supply, and it's about demand. And it's very difficult to predict how things will go. People are obviously worried about it, and I can understand why. But we have a fairly robust marketplace. Some would say it's because of the supply and demand issues. It is very hard to predict where we are. But as things stand, if the interest rates were only to go up a percent or so, I don't think it would make a lot of difference. The demand to buy is still very strong.
David? You agree?
I think it's back to this long-term game, isn't it, at the end of the day? I mean, I agree with both my colleagues. I don't think interest rates are going to go up massively at all in the next 5 years. I think... For any government to risk a huge rise in interest rates is problematic for the wider economy. Yes, of course, it will affect property. Property is a marketplace at the end of the day, and if there's a significant pressure on interest rates, yes, of course, prices will reflect that. But I think because of our significant lack of supply of properties at the moment, actually, I don't think there'd be too much change. Because, of course, landlords will come back into the marketplace if prices come down. So, it would certainly balance things out.